Alright, hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a reading on financial advice. Alright, per the usual, there will be 3 piles to choose from. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so pile 1. We have the Queen of Cups as our first card for what you're doing right. So for what you're doing right, what I like about this is emotional attachment. This is like that energy of really caring about something, really caring about a goal on an emotional, spiritual level, right? So I think that what you're doing right, while you are very focused on your goals, you're not making money the center of everything. You're not allowing the desire for more money to dictate everything in your life. Even though you could maybe do things a little bit differently, you're still prioritizing your physical, emotional, and spiritual health, which is cool, which is nice. And it's going to work out. This self-care energy is going to do a lot for this financial journey of yours. It's going to make it a lot more simple. So as far as what you're doing wrong, we have the Moon and the Knight of Wands, right? So the Knight of Wands upright is like following a dream, following a passion, having fun, being a rock star, right? This is about getting attention, doing the things you love. Now in reverse, this could be the exact opposite, not really following your passion, not really doing the thing that you love and making that into a career. I mean, it's all up to you. This whole video was all alleged for entertainment purposes only. However, it wouldn't hurt to try your best to combine the two, things that you're into, or 3 things that you're into, right? And then the Moon card in reverse talks about a lie being uncovered, right? Or it can talk about the things that we're afraid to confront within ourselves, right? That we hide. So I think maybe, you're not following your passion, and like, you don't have to, but it's nice to be able to say, like, sure, maybe it didn't go this way, maybe it didn't go that way. However, I still got a wonderful experience. I still made wonderful memories, right? So, that helps. That's nice as well. But with this in reverse, this could also be impulsive or reckless spending that you're not really coming to terms with and holding yourself accountable about. So when it comes to how to actually change this scenario, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So the 7 of Pentacles talks about, sowing your seeds, and now you're just waiting for it to grow. It's kind of a lazy energy. Yeah. But this is kind of about like, don't slow down unless you really feel like you need to for your health. But do your best to be consistent and resist whatever urges to bad habits that you've had. Do your best to just be like, hey, like, yes, this and yes, that, but I'm still going to continue to work on myself. You see, there's like all of these weeds around the bushes and all of these leaves, like, because she's not taking care of it. And it's like underneath all of this is like, looks like some sort of crystal or diamond, or look at all these crystals. And it's like she could be collecting these, but she's just not taking action. So hold yourself accountable for whether you're truly taking action or not, whether you're actually prioritizing your goals. Like I said, everything is up to you. You prioritize what you want. But after the 7 of Pentacles is the 8 of Pentacles, which is working hard, studying your craft. And then you go to the 9 of Pentacles, which is, adorning yourself with nice jewelry and nice this and nice that. So with that 7, you're very close to the 9 and 10 of Pentacles, which are like the wealthiest pentacle energies, right? So you're a lot closer than you think. Mentally, you're a lot more prepared than you've probably realized. So when it comes to setting an appropriate goal, with the 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles is a equal give and take. It's people holding themselves accountable and doing the right thing with their money. And so this comes in succession, right? We start here, and then next is here. This is like, okay, I've found my pentacles. Okay, I've found my landmine, right? So yeah. Yeah, and then look at them worshiping the ground she walks on. She doesn't show her face and so any of that. So yeah, you know, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to say, you know, every time I spend, I'm going to save, or I make $10, I'm going to save 5 and spend 5. You know, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to be committed to yourself, right? Because Queen of Cups, because you love yourself, right? So that's what I got. As far as how long it'll take, we have the 3 of Cups. So this is between 3, let's see. I want to say this is about 3 months from now, 3 weeks to 3 months from now. That's when you're really going to have this epiphany. That's when it's really going to hit you. Oh shit, maybe this isn't so bad, you know? Also, you know, with the 3 of Cups, you must surround yourself with people who are like-minded. You must surround yourself with people who are like-minded. All right. You know what they say, like you're the average of your social circle or something like that. Yes, this is absolutely true, right? If you surround yourself with people who are not prioritizing wealth, you know, they're going to enable those behaviors, and they're not gonna be the ones pointing out, hey, you know, when are you going to slow down? You know, stuff like that. So surround yourself, you know, put yourself in a network and a group where people have the same goals as you, and they're not going to judge you for aiming high, right? It's interesting. I've never noticed, but in her ear, she has the symbol of the North Node. I forgot what this symbol is, but this is a symbol of the North Node. And that's interesting because she's the one that's drinking the cup. This is the one that's taking care of herself, right? Focusing on her. So yeah, you know, very interesting. When you start to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, you're surrounding yourself with people who likely have the same or similar life purpose as yourself. So in order to achieve that North Node, by the way, if you don't know what that is, in astrology, that talks about your ultimate destiny, what you're ultimately put here to do. Not necessarily what you do before you pass, but like what's supposed to be the biggest goal while you're here. So yes, continue to fill your own cup. And it's even more interesting looking at this card because she's drinking her cup, she's about to drink hers, and then there's that one friend who's like left behind by herself in the pool, right? I think that's the image of the South Node. So, like I said, just, you know, to continue with the self-care, surround yourself with good people, and hold yourself accountable, like 100%. And I see this happening sometime between 3 weeks to 3 months where it's just really going to hit you, and you're going to find yourself improving the way you spend your finances. It's like almost like miraculously, right? So pile 1, that's what I got. I hope that resonated. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what you would like to see next. All right. Hello, YouTube. You have chosen pile 2 for financial advice. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So as far as what you're doing right, we have the 4 of Swords and the Sun card. So when you're remaining positive, you're remaining optimistic, you're trusting that if you go down the road that you feel like you want, you're going to have good results, which is awesome. Also with this Sun card, you might be getting a lot of attention soon. You know, a lot of people saying hi to you in the street, more people reaching out than usual. I say within the next 4 weeks, you're going to see a difference in how people communicate and make contact with you. So you're taking rest. You're not allowing the idea of making more money to like put your mind on overdrive. You're trusting in what's meant for you. You're trusting in all of that. So yeah, you're trusting, you're relinquishing control and allowing things to come to you, which is awesome. You're pausing and you're looking at all avenues. You're being creative about how you can make money and how to go about it. And once again, this is within the next 4 weeks. I see you not stressing out too much and just allowing it to come to you, which is awesome, right? Yeah, I mean, maybe you've been looking for jobs and you've been feeling like rejected by a lot of jobs. If that's the case, within the next 4 weeks, you're going to have more job offers. Or let's say you're like a content creator, whatever the case may be, within the next few weeks, you're going to get a lot of more support. So that's what you're doing right. When it comes to what you're doing wrong, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So be careful about taking uncalculated risk. Like if you're someone who likes to play the lotto, maybe you like to gamble, or maybe you have some different way of acquiring money that is just really risky, then I'm not saying don't do it, but just be careful. Just be careful. Yeah. And just remember that, the tables always turn. You're going to have your chance. You're going to have your time. You're going to have your opportunity. If you are feeling very unlucky, like, oh, everything I do is not working out for me, like I said with that sun card, things are about to turn around, because that's just the order of the universe, right? We go in cycles. Everything goes in cycles, at least in our atmosphere. So don't be too fixated on what has gone wrong, because very soon there's going to be a lot of things that's going right. And sometimes we only fixate on what's wrong without giving credit to what's right. Okay. So you have all of the things you need. You have the resources that you need. Believe it or not, you do. So that's what I got for you for what you're doing wrong. So as far as how to change, we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is someone who's very intellectual and uses their logic to win. And so with this being said, I see this as careful planning and paying attention to the details, right? Because swords represent truth and logic. The knight is following their logic. You need to follow what, on a practical sense, makes sense to you. You need to trust the truth, trust what you've seen. Don't get too carried away in what could be. Try and be as realistic as possible. And plan. Make a plan. Pile 1 had this too. Not this exact card, but a similar message. Make a plan. Say, I'm going to save $20 a week. That's it. I'm going to start small. And stick with that, because that's realistic, right? Or not 20 a week, maybe 20 a month, whatever you have going on. And it starts off small and it looks like nothing, but those numbers always add up, okay? So, be more planned, be more organized, and really pay attention to, the actions you're taking and why you're taking these actions over and over again, right? What are you really trying to address deep down inside? So when it comes to an appropriate goal to set, we have the 9 of Cups. So, I like this a lot as far as an appropriate goal to set. 9 is a number of kind of standing on your own. If you look at all the different suits, 9 is a number of standing on your own. This is about standing on your own and being emotionally fulfilled. The 9 of Cups is also a card of gratitude, right? Big emphasis on water signs, big emphasis on fire signs, sorry. This is about having gratitude and appreciating what you have, right? This is being happy with what you've obtained so far. So as far as setting an appropriate goal, I feel like your goal for right now, pile 2, is being grateful for everything that you have and appreciating what you have, whether it's little or a lot. Finding gratitude, and realizing that you're really close to your goal, right? After the 9 of Cups is the 10 of Cups, which is the card of happily ever after. So yes, you have, all of these things in the cards for you, and that's awesome. But gratitude for where you're at will get you even further. Gratitude includes like, I have this money, I'm going to spend it that way. It's like I have the ability to pay bills. I have the ability to work, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So when it comes to how long this will take, we have the Page of Swords and the King of Wands in reverse. Now that's interesting. Notice how they're looking in different directions. Like, she's looking toward what logically makes sense, and he's looking toward, what makes sense for his passion. So maybe you're a little bit torn between, oh, by the way, swords and wand energies are very fast. Very fast. So I'm feeling between 2 and 4 weeks, you're going to be able to make this decision. But it's like what logically makes sense and what makes sense as far as your passion. They're pulling you in two separate directions. Now, I do feel like the passion for, what if it could be like a creative project or a certain type of job or a certain type of activity. I do feel like that passion is more of a driving force than, what logically makes sense. Remember, we started off with the Leo, so that fire energy came in right away. So this is kind of like, shoot, what was I saying? This is kind of like, I'm gonna do what makes me happy. Like, this is like if, let's say your family is like, oh, you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer, and you're like, I want to be a swim instructor. Don't go by the doctor lawyer thing everyone says. Go ahead and pursue your dream of being a swim instructor. These jobs will always be around. You'll never run out of jobs in those fields that just make the most sense, right? But as society changes, certain passion projects will be outdated, won't be the same, things like that. So, go ahead and learn all you can about finances and, making it happen and so on and so forth. This can also be misguided aggression. So it may be easy to blame this one and blame that one for where you're at financially, and you're probably 100% correct. But your responsibility is to recover. That's something that you have to do, no matter how angry they make you. You can let that be the end of your streak of success, or you can take that and say, okay, it's a lesson learned. It's not going to happen again, right? Something like that. But listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, allow the truth to be seen. Don't be in denial. Accept, okay, this is a fact, right? Don't say this is an opinion. This is a fact. If someone's like, whatever, when it's appropriate, right? Be able to separate opinions from facts so that you can accept the facts and kind of disregard the opinions, because sometimes they're not needed or likely even true, right? So that's that as far as how long it'll take. So you're definitely going to see improvements in your finances once you trust your gut, trust what you're passionate about, do the research, and just be responsible. All right, so pile 2 that you're reading, I hope that resonated. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, hello pile 3, welcome to my channel. I'm going to go ahead and get started with your reading on financial advice. So when it comes to what you're doing right, we have the 2 of Swords, which I find to be an interesting card, because the 2 of Swords can represent like friction between two people. Yeah, people, and this could be involving your family, because we have the 4 of Wands on the back of the deck. But with the 2 of Swords, the way I see this, because this can be indecision, or this could be avoiding, making a decision, right? Purposely avoiding it, feeling like there's no way that your opinion could ever, work or help you in a situation. But this is you not being afraid to, have conflict with people, right? There's a quote that conflict is the greatest act of love, right? When it comes to people, because conflict says, I want this to work out. I want to address this so that we can have a good relationship. That's what conflict says. So you're doing the right thing by standing up for yourself when it calls, when the situation calls for that. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Ten of Wands is about a burden that's too heavy to carry. So when I see that in reverse, you're not carrying other people's burdens anymore. You're not just blindly following what other people have to say. And you're forming your own opinions, and you're going by what actually makes sense for you, right? You're done with taking on, other people's traumas or statements and opinions that are all rooted in trauma, right? Thus taking on their traumas. You're like, I'm gonna, get my own experience and learn what's appropriate for me by doing that, right? So that's good that you're doing that. When it comes to what you're doing wrong, we have the Six of Swords and the High Priestess. So please listen to your intuition, right? Always listen to your intuition at the end of the day. When it does try to communicate with you, don't be afraid. If you have to leave a certain place, a certain job, a certain relationship, don't be afraid to, and don't think that it's never going to work out. You're never going to get a second chance at love, at a certain career, at this and that. Even if you don't, at least you lost those opportunities on the pursuit of absolute happiness, and you've had the journeys and you've had the experience that you would not have had otherwise, right? The unique opportunities that you gain along the way. So this is nice. Also with the Six of Swords, because that represents long distance. And like I said, some of you may want to move or exit a certain situation in your life. This represents long distance and the long run. So don't tell everybody your goals. Don't tell everyone what's going on, because that's how people decide how to and whether to judge you or not. Okay. And people judge you based off of their own, like I said to the last reading, people are always going to come with a subjective bias, right? They're not going to understand what you're feeling or why you're feeling that way. So they're always going to see it as, this is a bias. This is not, they're not going to be able to give you the perspective. I mean, some people can, but it's always going to be influenced by their own personal experiences. So keep your goals secret until they're there, at the very least. I don't think you should be telling many people your goals, but at the very least, make sure that you're already there. Don't abandon yourself or abandon your intuition because of other people or uncertainty, right? This doesn't mean be super reckless and too free-spirited, but go ahead and allow yourself to have fun and mess up every now and then and stuff like that, right? That's what makes life fun, right? So when it comes to how to change, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is an interesting card because this talks about feeling powerless, feeling as though you don't have the resources in order to, the appropriate resources in order to get to where you want to go. Also, like I said, I just feel like you're taking advice from the wrong people. I hate to say that. Or maybe like lately you've been really, focused on your spirituality, but just be careful when it comes to that, right? Notice all of the snakes on the tree looking at her. Why? Because they're trying to protect their fortune. You see behind the tree. So they're glad that she's distracted by this figure because it's taking her away from reality, right? So the way I interpret this card is take everything into account, right? And be prepared to hold yourself accountable when you're trying to figure out, why am I here? What happened, right? What do I need to change? What should I refuse to ever do again? Stuff like that, right? Go ahead and keep that mindset. And like I said, with that idol there, be careful who you're looking up to. A lot of the time, people like the image. People like to have the image, but they don't like to put in the work, right? So this is just a reminder to acknowledge reality. Make sure you're still acknowledging what went right, what went wrong, and be careful because some people will literally take and take and take from you until you have nothing more. And unless that's what you're into, I would say just be careful about the people you have around you. That's the main message I'm getting for this pile. So when it comes to an appropriate goal, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And I kind of like this for an appropriate goal because the Knight of Cups represents like following your dreams, following your heart, letting your heart make decisions for you. With this in reverse, I don't believe that you're, listening to your heart or your intuition, right? I think that you're more along the lines of like what makes the most sense, and that is an incredible, nice way to think. But don't completely rule out your feelings and ignore your feelings. Your feelings tell you about situations, right? If you're angry, that means one thing. If you're sad, that means one thing. If you're happy, that means one thing. So allow yourself to feel the feelings and pay attention to what is causing those feelings and try to kind of work around that, right? To keep yourself as emotionally healthy as possible. But don't be afraid to just listen to your heart from time to time, It's okay to be a little bit irresponsible from time to time, right? That's okay, and that's fine, and that's fun. So go ahead and, live your golden years. So when it comes to how long this will take, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. So I feel like this will happen in about 7 weeks. Yeah, so the Seven of Wands in reverse is feeling like you cannot fight, feeling like the underdog, feeling like there's no use in standing up for yourself. And that I see is a reoccurring theme, the idea of other people getting in the way of you getting where you want to be, whether it's other people wanting money or it's other people giving their 2 cents all the time, or other people just doing things that are keeping you from getting where you want to go. Don't be afraid to be like, no, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to just point out that you don't want anything to do with what they have to say. And you only want people in your life who are absolutely genuine, where you don't have to be on guard all the time. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? Surround yourself with people that make you feel comfortable in your own skin, right? Who support you and support your goals, no matter what that looks like, no matter what that sounds like. Just people who are fiercely protective of you, in the same way that you should be fiercely protective of yourself. You know what I mean? So yeah, within the next 7 weeks, you're going to be experiencing a lot of change in perspective, and you're not going to be willing to fight battles that aren't getting you anywhere. You know what I mean? Kind of like that meme, right? Like if you say 2 + 2 is 5, go ahead, you're right, bye, have at it. You know what I mean? Kind of developing that attitude where it's like, okay, think what you want to think, that's fine. Do I care? No. You know what I mean? So go ahead and have a little bit more of that, and show that backbone, So pile 3, that's what I got. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and I will gladly deliver.